Tired of black people pretending like they are the ones that didn't start slavery.
The crazy thing about it is that's just not true. Slavery dates back ancient Rome and ancient Egypt. Do your research.
And I'm tired of them pretending that white people didn't die to end slavery, because we were.
First of all, who the hell is we? You didn't do shit for the black people. You don't do nothing for black people in America. Who are you? And second of all, I respect anyone that tried to stop slavery. You are not one of them. After the Civil War ended, the KKK started it, and people still fought to keep segregation. Like, why is it so hard to know that racism is still a thing? It has not gotten better since.
Community avoid these truths because they want to try and move up in this country without having to do the hard work.
Are you kidding me? There are several hardworking black people. We have always been disadvantaged. In the past 400 years, if you were a person of color, you have to work 100 times harder than anybody. I don't care what the law says or anything. It's been like this since slavery and Jim Crow. And it's funny that you tell us that we're supposed to forget slavery, get over the past and all that stuff, but we have our people, black people, that's still alive that went through Jim Crow. That laws was created against them. We have our grandparents that went through that. Whites only bathrooms. Whites only water fountains. They couldn't even go to the same stores as white people. How do you want us to or not talk about slavery at all? White people were never oppressed because of the color of their skin. Stop saying white people were slaves. Like you guys went through the same thing as black people went through. Stop the nonsense.
A lot of the black community needs to be addressed. I am tired of black people pretending like they are the ones that didn't start slavery, because they were. And I'm tired of them pretending that white people didn't die to end slavery, because we were. I'm also tired of pretending that there are still slaves today and all of the slave owners are, you guessed it, people of color. I'm also tired of pretending that there weren't white slaves as well. And I think that a lot of people in the black community avoid these truths because they want to try and move up in this country without having to do the hard work.
I've seen that video circulating around, and I've seen people like trying to do all of this education. And I'm not going to do any of that because I don't respect it. A lot of you pale pirates have this digital courage that you will say behind a phone screen, but would never say to the black community's faces. And even as bottom of the barrel as Charlie Kirk's thinking was in talking points, at the very least he was willing to say it out in public. But then we also got to witness what talking out the side of your neck might get you. People like her, people like that British biracial, rage bait black people like this because it helps them to build a platform. She nearly has 500,000 followers on TikTok. Her thought isn't original and it's not even intelligent. It's just another way for people like them to make their mediocrity feel like something more.
Can you all just leave black people alone? I mean, seriously. What is this obsession, especially with black Americans? I don't know why some people feel the need to constantly comment, judge, and drag us. Well, in this case, a white woman got the fafo she literally ordered for. And honestly, I like it. This is one of those moments where you just sit back and say, maybe, just maybe, what would be a better place if people just leave black people alone? That's when we all will have peace. Now, let me roll out more clips so we all can see exactly what I'm talking about. Well, welcome back to my channel. And of course, credit goes to the original creators for every single clip and stitches featured in today's episode. Quick disclaimer, we do not condone violence or harassment. This is about accountability, not aggression. If you like today's episode, hit that like button, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the stories. Trust me, you'll want to see what happens next when people get called out.
I'm tired of black people pretending like they are the ones that didn't start slavery, because they were.
I know I gotta be careful when criticizing women and their takes because women are fragile creatures. And so I'm not gonna attack this woman personally. However, that was the most ignorant shit I've heard all day. Get one thing straight. First off, slavery is a business model that has been in existence for thousands of years. It's widely accepted that slavery emerged in multiple different areas around the world independently of each other. So for anyone who is attributing the creation of slavery to one particular race is just ignorant. Even if you want to say slavery in America was created by black people, that would also be ignorant. Because it would be leaving out the fact that the majority of black Americans in this country are actually indigenous Americans. And many of our ancestors were not brought here on slave ships at all. One of the big things that I've been pointing out on my page over and over again is that the colonizers met copper-colored individuals when they got to the New World. Black Americans, we have copper-colored skin. We've just been convinced that Native Americans, these individuals with lighter skin and long black hair, were the only people that were in America, and that is just simply not even true. Like I always say in all my videos, don't take my word for it. If you're a black American in this country, Go ask your grandmother. Go ask your great-grandmother. Go ask your great-aunt. And you'll be surprised what they tell you. From what I've seen in my own experience, many of our elders won't be able to give you specifics because a lot of this stuff was just told to them. So they know it, but they don't really know how they know it. But then again, there's plenty of elders in the black community that know exactly how they are Indian, who we are, where they come from, the tribes they come from, etc. Many of us in the younger generations just have to ask. To be clear, there's also a lot of nuance in this because so much time has gone by. We have to remember that there are actual Africans that have come and immigrated to the United States in the past 50 years and before that. So there are going to be some black people in this country that are genuinely African. But this idea that the majority of black Americans in this country originated from slaves that were brought here from Africa is just not true. I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of us have this affinity with Africa and we feel like we should be connected to Africa in some way. But a lot of that is honestly just manufactured by the government. Think about it. If the majority of black Americans in this country are actually indigenous Americans, then we need more than reparations. The entire American system needs to be renegotiated. Just think about it from the colonizer's perspective. If you convince the indigenous people that they're actually from a different continent, then they will never ask for their country back.
This one's gonna put me under fucking fire. Holy shit. A lot of the black community needs to be addressed.
No, a lot of the white community needs to be addressed. I'm tired of white people pretending that they're not racist because they are. I'm tired of white people pretending that they didn't start pedophilia because they did. I'm tired of white people acting like that they don't fuck their cousins because they do. I'm tired of white people acting like that they're the cleanest motherfuckers alive, meanwhile they didn't even know what soap was way back in the day. I'm tired of white people acting like they always got something to say about everybody else but themselves. I'm tired of white people pretending that they're about that life when they're not. I'm tired of white people benefiting from DEI the most because y'all ain't even qualified. I'm tired of white people being offended over the word cracker. I'm tired of the white tears that I gotta see every single effing day on this app. And look, I'm white every day, all day, but guess what? Check yourselves first, because white people aren't perfect. I know white people think that they're superior, but there's a lot of skeletons in those closets, let me tell you. I will be the first white person to tell you to know your fucking place and to shut the fuck up because you don't know shit. And maybe you should worry about your cancer before you start telling black people what they should or shouldn't do. How about that? Cause unlike you, I really am about that life.
I am tired of black people pretending like they are the ones that didn't start slavery because they were. And I'm tired of them pretending that white people didn't die to end slavery.
This that Neanderthal babble that we're talking about, both of those points is wrong. Please learn history before opening your thin ass lips. She was trying to say that black people started slavery in America. But if you look up who started slavery in America, they would probably reference this guy, Anthony Johnson. But guess what? This is not Anthony Johnson at all. This is Lewis Hayden. Anthony Johnson actually died before cameras, so there's no real photos of Anthony Johnson. Either way, Anthony Johnson wasn't the first slave owner in America. There was Hugh Gwynn. White people just love to use Anthony Johnson because he was black, so they could say, well, black people were enslaving people too, so that's why we was doing this so much. Hugh Gwynn was a European with 3 servants. They ran away. Now, while the 2 received a whipping, John Punch received a sentence of life servitude and a whooping. Even back then, black folks were getting harsher sentences, thus creating slavery, a whole decade before Anthony Johnson. What she did was use your internal racism and bias to target black people. That's what she just did to you, white folks. And white people didn't die to free slaves. White people died because of other violent white people, and they had to have a war in order to do this, where one group of white people wanted to take over the country from another group of white people because they was making so much money off of slaves. And guess who they needed to win this war? They needed black people. The freedom of slaves was a byproduct of a war that violent white people fought.
A lot of the black community needs to be addressed. I am tired of black people pretending like they are the ones that didn't start slavery because they were.
You know what's crazy is that's just not true. Slavery dates back to ancient Mesopotamia, ancient Rome, ancient Greece, ancient Egypt. Slavery was literally a global concept. There was no one race that started slavery. Do your research, bum!
And I'm tired of them pretending that white people didn't die to end slavery because we were.
Who is we? You've done nothing for blacks in America. Who are you? I will put the credit and respect on the people that actually did try to stop slavery. We will give them the respect they need, right? You have done nothing. Don't say we like you helped. Nobody knows who you are. You're a random. You've done nothing for the community. Don't talk as if you are one of them. You're not.
I'm also tired of pretending that there weren't white slaves as well. And I think that a lot of people in the black community avoid these truths because they want to try and move up in this country without having to do the hard work.
That last take is probably the worst of it. If you are a person of color in America, You are forced to work harder than anybody else. Regardless of what you think the laws say, the system has been set up to where we are at just a national disadvantage. Slavery lasted more than 200 years, right? And it's been what, like about 100 years since slavery ended, right? And people want to say, oh, you guys can make the change now. Why are you guys still acting like you guys can't change anything? Slavery it just doesn't disappear like that. It lasted 200 years, and it's only been 100 years since then. We haven't even hit the threshold of having more time with no slavery than more time with slavery. We have people alive, I think, or people who lived through Jim Crow laws. All that stuff didn't stop. It didn't stop. So the fact that she said that we're using that to like skip hard work, like that shit is so stupid. Are you dumb?
This is exactly why Black people are standing their ground right now. People keep trying to provoke, belittle, and rewrite history. And some of these folks are literally upset in putting Blacks back where they used to be. But let me be clear, that's not happening. Blacks will never go back, and we are not about to let anyone make us feel otherwise. Think about this. The hard work some of these people claim Blacks should be doing, the suffering Blacks went through, slavery, segregation, Jim Crow, redlining, is not something you just brush up or debate. If anyone tries to live through that, they will collapse long before it's even ended. Yet, some people come online, say whatever they want, and assume it's acceptable because they think it will get them attention. They think other white people will nod and say, yes, that's right, but the backlash is real. Careers are being called at, and honestly, it's about time. And here is the thing. Blacks aren't looking for dramas. Most of us are just trying to live, provide for ourselves, our families, and our community. But when someone comes at us, especially Black Americans, trying to rewrite history, trying to justify slavery or segregation, or even worse, telling us we should be grateful for it, that's when the accountability kicks in. And we're seeing that happens more and more. People are being called out, owing up to their words, and sometimes scrambling to explain themselves. But that's exactly what happens when you try to step on Black toes. Even today, we see these attempts at modernized oppressions, low-key systems, outdated thinking, or outright ridiculous art, like making Blacks pick beans in the field just to flex power. It's absurd. And yet, this only proves one thing. Black Americans and Blacks in general are aware, awake, and standing strong. We are not just surviving, we are thriving, resisting, and making sure the world knows we will never go back. If there is one takeaway here, is this: leave Blacks alone. Stop trying to provoke, stop trying to justify oppression, and stop thinking that history is negotiable. Accountability always catches up, and right now, it's catching up in ways that are long overdue. If you liked today's episode, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notification. See you in my next episode.